All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division as we continue. Sorry for stumbling over my words. As we continue through the post-mortem of the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford mega welterweight fight that in which Terrence Crawford won in dramatic, sensational fashion in a one-sided, as Errol Spence Jr. had said earlier, ASS whooping. Now, there is more details coming out, though, about Errol Spence Jr. and Shane Mosley reacts to what, along with many other boxing people, about the state of Errol Spence Jr. when he walked into that ring. And also, there has been some news that has come out reported by a very respectable boxing outlet, AM Sports Media, about an injury that was suffered by Errol Spence Jr. in training camp and the effect that it may have had on his ability to make weight and explain other observations made by Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward. So there's several pieces to be put together, and I'm going to tell you ahead of time, if you are not mature enough to listen to it and act like you have sense, doesn't bother me, because we are going to talk about the information that fighters need to have out there because of the massive amount of trolling and disrespect going on to a man that risked his life to entertain you. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division, where we are going to talk about something Shane Mosley said, something that has come out from an excellent media outlet, new media outlet, not new media. I'm just saying that they're a newer outlet, and they are part of the media, who has information provided to them about an injury to Errol Spence Jr. in camp. Now, for all of you people that think that that is something that could not take place, let me remind you that Errol Spence Jr. was training for Manny Pacquiao and got an eye injury. He was also about to start camp for what many people believed was a Keith Thurman fight in early portion of this year, and he had a car accident. He also was out for almost 2 years after famously he was ejected from a car 50 feet, landed on concrete, and could have died. So the idea that Errol Spence Jr. could have an injury seems almost predictable, not ridiculous, nor an excuse. Because as you know, Errol has been injury prone ever since that car accident, which is only reasonable to suspect in a man that once again was thrown 50 feet out of a car, landing on concrete. Maybe his body could start breaking down, not just his mind. However, before I get into the details of this, and some of you, very toxic people, but don't worry, life has given me my shots. I am immune to your toxicity. Before I get into this, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. not to subscribe to it or watch it if you do not. Hit the dislike button if you do not like it. I appreciate your feedback. To the subscribers, to the longtime supporters, to the recent supporters, thank you for your support. It is essential to continue the conversations, the mature, honest boxing conversations that we endeavor to have on this channel. Sometimes we land on mark. Other times we may miss the mark, but we will always aim at the goal, which is to have positive, enjoyable, information-rich boxing conversation in which I will express my opinion as a fan. Now, let's get into this. Shane Mosley, who had predicted that Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence, has said on Boxing News 24, which is where I read it. Please feel free to go read the article on Boxing News 24. Support for their channel and the work that they do. Let me acknowledge it. He said that there was something not right about Errol Spence Jr. going into that fight, that he looked very weak. He did not look stable. I'm paraphrasing. He did not look stable. And that he believed that if he could not make that weight, if he had to drain his body down, that even though he thinks Terrence Crawford will win regardless, could explain the fashion in which Errol Spence Jr. lost. That is not an excuse. That is an observation. That is shared by almost every person that watched or reviewed Errol Spence Jr.'s demeanor, his physical appearance in the locker room before the fight even started. So to declare that people, mature people who want to know what they were looking at, get a reasonable explanation, they are not making an excuse. They are just wondering why. When someone commits a crime and you are thinking about, what should I think of this person? You may ask, why did they do what they did? The simple fact that they did what they did may not tell the whole story. So let's move forward for mature boxing fans that want to understand what they were looking at. Virgil Hunter said, and I put it in a video yesterday, because I am not afraid of you, toxic boxing fans that want to cause people misery for discussing what happened to Errol before the fight that had him in that condition. But yet you are more than willing at the same time to listen to a so-called doctor speculate about residual neurological damage. Virgil Hunter said that Errol Spence Jr. was running hills in 110, 115 degrees. And that could have sapped him of a lot of energy while he was trying to get down in weight for the fight. Now, it has come out and reported by AM Sports Media, who, from everything that I can see, are honest people and straightforward people who also will tell you what they think and what they hear. Word is that Errol Spence Jr. was injured in sparring and injured his rib 6 weeks before the fight and was not allowed to spar for 6 weeks. If it is true, and you would only know if you were in the gym at the time and a member of his camp, because they will keep that very hush hush. If it is true that he could not spar for 6 weeks, that could explain his timing. That could also explain the fact that he is still running hills a week before the fight, trying to lose weight. Because it is my understanding that his weight when he began camp was around 170. So without being able to spar and lose weight, his timing could be off, on top of the fact that he is dehydrated because he has to run in the heat to get the weight off in a weight class that he has said before the fight that he should not be in. Add to that, you are fighting Terrence Crawford, who very well may be a Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Robinson level fighter to begin with. If you get in the ring with Terrence Crawford, you may lose no matter how good you are. And that is what even the most trollish of you, fake Terrence Crawford fans, would say. So that is the information that is out there about it from respectable people to answer questions and curiosities that legitimate boxing fans who support and love Errol, because he risks his life for their entertainment. And it is also, in my opinion, a disservice to Errol Spence Jr. himself to force him to stay behind a wall of machismo, which he has and refuses to tell you about any weakness that he had coming into or after that fight. However, the same people that say no excuses are the same people that are more than willing, some of them people, to listen to trash journalism, smash that man about injuries that occurred prior to the fight. On one hand, he is not allowed to call him to give any excuses. On the other hand, you are also able to bring up prior examples and totally frame people's mind that this is a washed up, no good fighter who is a piece of trash and should never be in the ring again. That is called damned if you do, damned if you don't position, if I have ever heard one. So you better believe, if you think that I am mad about this, I am not mad about this. But if you think so, that's fine. What I will tell you is that you are not going to bully people out of their curiosity, out of their desire to understand what they see, to allow some people to frame a picture that works for the ultimate goal that they have had for a while, which is to run down the PBC, Showtime, Errol Spence, Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, and all of those people in that organization who have been castigated for years despite providing the best fights we have had this century and without rival. However, feel like you want to feel about it. If the information is going to come out, we're going to talk about it, because you will not censor me with your vile comments in my comment section. Sometimes I'll respond to you. Sometimes I will not. However, I am vaccinated with plenty of resistance to your toxicity. It will not affect me. It has affected me in the past until I realized how to deal with it. You want to spread your misery to other people and live vicariously through the accomplishments of others. That in and of itself is a weakness. And your toxicity is rooted in your own sense of insufficiency. And you are bad for boxing. That's my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Subscribe if you want. Don't subscribe if you don't like me. It is what it is. You let me know. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.